Hello, good evening. Jai Bhim, Jai Manivasi. Welcome to MNT News Network. Today is Sunday, that is on 14th August 2022. And tomorrow we are going to celebrate Indian Independence Day. That is, yeah, after completing 75 years of Indian Independence Day. On this occasion today, we have invited a eminent scholar and professor, Professor Kancha Ilaiah, former director, Center for the Study of Social Exclusion and Inclusive Policy, Maulana Azad National Urdu University. And Professor Kancha Shepherd sir is presently available at Hyderabad. And we have invited Professor Aile sir. And today's topic is Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Where do indigenous people stand? So this is the topic. So welcome sir. Jai Hind, Jai Guruvasi, Professor Kancha Aile sir. Jai Hind, Jai Guruvasi.
Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming to the MNT News Network. And today would like to conduct this interview, and this will be recorded and it will be broadcasted through MNT News Network, through WhatsApp, Facebook, and Twitter, and through various modes, sir. Sir, the today's topic is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Where do indigenous people stand? Sir, in this first, I would like to ask the question, sir. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, how do you see these 75 years of Indian independence from your viewpoint, sir? Sir,
Well, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is BJP government's slogan, but this is 75th year of independence, which is normally known as Diamond Jubilee. Now, what is the position of the Dalits, Adivasis, OBCs, who are broadly known as Shudras in this 75 years of independence? Now, first of all, by 1947, all the lower caste and Adivasis, particularly Dalits, the Shudra agrarian people, and Adivasis had no rights. Though the British had given some rights in the 19th century, making some laws, but the caste system, the Manudharma, Brahmanic social order were completely intact. Now that caste system was really responsible for not allowing all these communities to not to go for education, not to think of a national language, not to think of a new vision of life. So with the independence, uh, the freedom has come to go to school. Broadly, education system got opened. Though there are two streams of education. One is the state government and the rural area local language education. In tribal areas, the tribal languages were very, very underdeveloped by 1946. And even, other state languages like Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Bengali, and so on. Even Hindi kind of languages were very, very underdeveloped. So the most developed language, English, was in the private sector even after independence. And the rich people, the Brahmins and others who were getting lot of benefits through various mechanisms in the British time, even in the Mughal period, and earlier to that in their own Varna Dharma system, they continued to get best education. Their children were studying in private English medium schools. Earlier, the same caste were sending their children to Persian, national language. Persian language was our administrative till 1834 or 35. Now, earlier to that, it was Sanskrit. So the agrarian people, the labor, and the Adivasis were completely regional, small, local. There were no schools and all this. And even with independence, in the last 75 years, the educational equality has not come. Though we got the right to vote, and we got the right to vote for men and women, there is a written constitution, and fortunately for us, it was Ambedkar who wrote that constitution. Therefore, he included certain provisions for our advantage. But then, unless you have a national language education, historically illiterate masses cannot use the constitutional provisions. Now, for SC/STs, Ambedkar instituted reservations right from 1947 after his fight with Gandhi and Britishers, and with the, unfortunately, Sardar Patel, who was a Shudra leader, he did not think of supporting the OBC idea, the Shudra community's education. He, by and large, supported the Gandhian ideas, and that helped the Brahmins, Banyas, Kayasthas, Khatris, and historically educated. So today, after Mandal Commission came, there is a new identity battle. The minority communities have their own problems, but Congress has recognized the minority question seriously because partition happened in their hands. So they were accommodating the Muslims, and within the Muslims, only the upper caste, the converted Brahmins, Banyas, Kayasthas, there were a number of such, and Mughals, Pathans. So they got English education, they got some university education, they were accommodated. But our rural agrarian OBCs and Dalits and Adivasis still remain backward, and now we have to fight for educational equality along with the reservation.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Sir, the second question, sir. After getting independence, after passing 75 years, the life of the downtrodden people is not changed. So, what is the root cause for this problem, sir? Sir, please explain.
Well, there is some change, not that there is no change. There is a small middle class which came up through reservation, and small English educated section has emerged from Dalits, from Adivasis, from OBCs and Shudras. But that cannot compete with the Brahmin intellectuals and the Banyas, Kayasthas, Khatris, and the Kshatriyas who were the rulers. Our problem was there were Shudra kings by 1947. Even they did not educate their own sons and daughters in England. So there is no English educated intellectual class from among these people. Now, without such a national language educated intellectual class, and particularly a global language intellectual educated class from these communities, you can't use reservations also. in competition with them. So the backwardness remained. Millions of people were still away from even the basic school education. There was this property inequality. Dalits, Adivasis had no landed property. Large number of OBCs also did not have landed property. So this has created a problem. So in view of that, the system got fractured in so many ways. Therefore, we had all kinds of problems, and we are still continuing with those. Therefore, my feeling is that all these people, reservation will have to remain for long, and they will not allow that reservation to continue for long, because even during the Congress period, there was opposition to reservation. They did not support the Mandal movement. They did not fill up SC/ST quotas in many places. And then the BJP came. It is doing much worse things, completely handing over railways, postals, aeroplane industry, and major, steel industry. Every public sector industry is being private. So that problem will come unless all these masses are competent in terms of education in the rural areas. So that is the reason why I have been saying the land is a major problem for tribals. They are still in the forest zones. That is the reason why, even RSS, BJP call them Vanavasis, Girijans. Even when Draupadi Murmu was getting elected as president, they were calling them Girijans, Vanavasis. This is absolutely wrong language. They are Adivasis of India. They are the original people. The Harappan civilization, the symbol that you are showing in your TV channel, belongs to these people, SC, ST, OBC, Shudras, and that civilization is destroyed. And they are saying Vedic civilization is our civilization. No, Vedas and other books have not supported our life. There is no Shudra life in that. There is no Dalit life in that. There is no Adivasi respectable life in those books. So our civilization has to be re-examined, but by the intellectuals who are well educated in universities, in competition with the Brahmins and Banyas and Kayasthas and Khatris all over the world, and that needs to be done now.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, the governments wants to privatize the public sector, and there is every scope to lose the opportunities to the OBC, SC, and ST educated government.
Yeah, see,
How to
that is their
prevent
strategy.
strong transfer of the government?
No, the strategy is very clear.
Sir.
Though Narendra Modi as Prime Minister said, I am an OBC, but the system, the monopoly capitalists, Ambani, Adani, Vedanta, Tata, Birlas, all these companies do not want reservation in their companies, and they want the entire Indian economy in their hands. Now Ambani, Adani own almost half of Indian wealth. So, but at the same time, they say that we don't want to give reservations. We will select our people based on competition. What is the competition? The competitiveness that they judge is English language, engineering, technology, and sophisticated skills. Even in law, they want national law school educated youth in their companies. So where do they come from, these communities? So what they do is they will say, yes, we are supporting reservation. BJP also will not oppose it, but they will not keep the jobs in government sector. Completely they will privatize, they will bring other forces through other means. There are a number of backdoor methods of selections from the Brahmin, Banya, Kayaste, Khatri, Kshatriya kind of community. See, the caste people, the Brahmins or Banyas or Kayastas, Khatris, they don't have human sympathies to their own nation people. At the one end, BJP people say, minorities are outsiders, but the Dalits, Adivasis, Shudras, OBCs are not outsiders. They produce food, they till the land, they produce crops, and they use all that wealth. They say that these people are meritless and uh, uh, they are meritless and therefore uh, they are meritless and therefore they cannot be given jobs. So there is this problem. My feeling is unless we demand that school education from LKG to grade 12 in the villages, in the states, everywhere uh, made English medium, where all children learn English along with one subject of their regional language. Anyway, that language will be there. If tribals have their own languages, children speak along with the parents and they can learn that in a school in one book or so. But all Indians must speak one language. Now that is the reason why BJP is saying one nation, one language. Okay, I agree with that. Let us have one language for one nation, but that language should be English, not Hindi. Because for your children it cannot be English, and for our children it cannot be, Bhojpuri, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Oriya or Gujarati, whatever, Marathi or whatever. This cannot happen. One nation should have one advanced, globally known English language. So India should speak English, all tribals, Adivas, then every child will fight for their rights. And even in temples everywhere, we can pray or do pujas, everything in English language only. So that system we should ask for. They will not give. In Telangana and Andhra Pradesh now, all schools are made English medium, but BJP and Congress don't say that we support it. Now, wherever regional parties are there, we could fight against regional parties and get these things. In Chhattisgarh, in Jharkhand, in other states, tribals must fight for English medium in those states. See, the tribals keep on asking for tribal identity, tribal language. No. What do you do with tribal language? Why do you need that forest-based life? You should also be in cities. You should also own properties in urban areas. You should go to best schools and colleges. So this whole bogus theory that tribal should live in forests and jungle and this and that. No, the whole country should belong to all of us. And tribal should be everywhere and they should de-tribe themselves. And we open up, plain people should get into forest zones and start living a different life. So they can't live in the forest so long. How can they get protected water there? How can they get best English medium education like that. It's not possible. So therefore, India has to be urbanized. India has to be linked up to the world markets, and tribals have to be linked up to the urbanized economy, English education. So we should change our movements now. We can't depend these Brahmins to give theories to us. They will say, no, 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 your tribal areas are great, your life is great, you be there, you know, live without clothes, without bungalows. How can we? Why should we live like that? So you have to start a new movement in tribal areas, in Dalit Wadas. All OBC Shudras must also fight for English medium. How long they will surrender themselves to Brahmin intellect? That is absolutely bad.
Sir, thank you, sir. Your viewpoints are very valuable. And sir, the fourth question, sir, how the government failed in incorporating most of the provisions available in the Indian Constitution, and what is its impact? How to get good governance in the large interest of the Munivasi Bhojans? Sir, please explain.
Well, the Indian Constitution is written by Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and there are others in that. Some things are meant for us, and many things are meant for that in that meant for them in that constitution. But the fact that we have got a democratic republican constitution, that is a very important thing in our history. Because earlier, the agrarian producing communities, Adivasis, and then Dalits had no rights in Indian system. Even in the religion, we had no rights. There is no priesthood right. There is no man-woman equality. So the constitution has guaranteed all of them. There is separation of powers, and executive, legislature, judiciary. These are good things. And the implementation of the constitution, there are basically Brahman Banya forces are in the lead, whether it is parliament, and the secretariat, judiciary. Now, these institutions should be shared by all. There should be a number of tribals in them. There should be a number of Shudra, OBCs, Dalits in there. And others could be up to their population ratio. But now, because we don't have English education, because we are not exposed to constitutional language, we are not exposed to the Western knowledge of interpretation of constitution, so we don't get the jobs. Our people are not selected, our people are not kept in Supreme Court, high courts, and lower courts. And our people are not writing books, articles, and so on. So they have an advantage. That advantage has to be taught. And but that is possible only with education. And if they want to change the constitution. Some of them want try to do that. I've seen, some of them are writing a Hindu Rashtra constitution and then bringing back Manu Dharma. They want to destroy English education institutions. So those who want the Dvijas, who have been running temples, who have been running, if they want Sanskrit, let them educate their children in Sanskrit. So my slogan is that, Bahujan's children, the Adivasi, Dalit, OBC, Bahujan children have to study in English medium. They should become best lawyers, best judges, secretaries, ministers, run the system. See, without good education also you can't run the system. Luckily, look at, now Draupadi Murmu, while being an Adivasi, she could become a graduate, was a government employee. Then now she has become president of India. Dalits could become presidents of India. But they are not in a position to become prime minister. Even within the BJP, they will not right now make a tribal, a Dalit prime minister. They will not allow. They say that they will have to lead all India, this thing and so on and so forth. They will have to get votes. So we need to change our education system, our opinion about education and the property and ideas. Yeah. Constitution is a very useful thing for us.
Sir, thank you, sir. And the final question, sir. The present government slogan of Ghar Ghar Tiranga or Ghar Ghar Rashtraധ്waj. What you feel, sir? Ghar Ghar National Flag or Ghar Ghar Constitution? Sir, please explain along with your concluding remarks on this topic, sir.
No, they are saying Ghar Ghar flag. Okay, we can put a flag on the top of every house, whether we are educated or not, whether we know about the constitution or not. So, but that is not going to give us the power that we need. So that can come only through proper education and equal competitive level. So this system, okay, now RSS, which did not accept the three-color flag, now is accepting. Okay, they said the red belongs to communists, the green belongs to Muslims, the white is Gandhian, and so on and so forth. Now they have accepted the three-color flag and they have accepted the Ashok Chakra. That's fine. I mean, they are now campaigning for putting the flag on every house. But at the same time, the constitutional understanding, protection to constitutional from the same forces, there is a section which is saying now that we have to remove this constitution. They are not saying anything again. Earlier, communists said we'll fight a war and then change the constitution. Now, such communists were attacked, they were put in jail, and even now a number of people are in jail, those who do not agree with the system, constitution, and so on. Now, what about these people, the people who are saying we don't want this constitution, we want a new constitution, who come from the same background, the RSS and Vishwa Hindu Parishad and other organizations. So why are they allowing them to do that? So therefore, unless the Dalit, Adivasi, Shudra people rebel against these forces and say, you cannot change our constitution, you cannot change our flag, this flag is put there with the ideals of Mahatma Phule, Ambedkar, Periyar Ramaswamy, Komuram Bhim, and Birsa Munda, Savitribai Phule, and so on. So this democracy belongs to us. If you want to destroy it, we will not allow that. So we will have to say that. My last word is, I appeal to all Adivasis, Dalits, and Shudra OBCs. You have to fight for English medium education for your children. You have to see that your children become lawyers, doctors, IAS officers, ministers. That is possible only when they get world-class global English language, number one. Number two, you have to fight for protection of this constitution. And this flag belongs to us. Let them celebrate. We should collectively celebrate. But they cannot deceive us by just showing the flag on the house or saying that we are for the constitution. We know what changes are being brought. We know what privatization is happening. The global system is not for complete private market. They want to destroy welfare economy. They want to destroy spending on farmers, peasants, labor. Now, on the one side, you use this welfare for your election. On the other side, you say that these are freebies. These are, they are just distributing them. No, the people have a right to share from the wealth of the nation, from the budget. So why the finance minister is saying that welfare is freebie? This is wrong. I think all our youth, students, teachers, all of them must fight against this trend. We must go on writing. We must debate. There must be uh, hundreds of organizations to protect the welfare system, the constitution, the Ashoka Chakra flag, and the flag belongs to Pule, Ambedkar, Periyar, Kumram Bhim, and Birsa Munda and Savitri Bai and so on. All women and men are equal in our view. We don't agree with certain forces which say that women should not wear what they want to wear. No, we want equality for all, irrespective of religion. Your religion you keep inside your house, whoever it is. But in democracy, men and women are equal. They have to study boys and girls as equal. And they should fight for sustaining the spirit of the constitution, spirit of the flag. My fear is if we don't fight, Indian democracy will not be able to celebrate in 2047 100 years democracy. By then, democracy will collapse. The constitution may be destroyed. This flag may be pulled down. So, whatever is your religion, you don't allow the backward forces to take over the country in whichever party you are. You have to, because it is SC, ST, OBC, Sudras who can defend the country, no other, because the fight between minorities and BJP is one problem. But if we stand for the constitution, for flag, for English medium education, all of them will come round and Indian democracy will be safe. I hope, I'm now 70. With this October, I'll complete my 70th year. I will not, by all means, survive by the time we celebrate our centenary of the democracy and the constitution. So next 25 years are key in our fight. If we can keep the democracy, the constitution, the flag, the spirit of judiciary, the spirit of parliament and legislature and executive, once it survives for 100 years, it can survive for few more 100 years and 1,000 years. But if in next 25 years, if these forces destroy the democracy, constitution, and the flag, then finish. And they don't understand. All around us are no, there are no democratic countries. They are all dictatorships. They are all oligarchies. So they want to push this country also into similar system. That is what Hindu Rashtra is about. So in the name of minorities, they want to bring back Varna Dharma system. So it is the Shudra upper caste, for example, Kurmis in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Yadavs, shepherds, pot makers, and weavers and so on, and Dalits and Adivas. We have to fight for sustenance of this democracy. Next 25 years are very crucial. If they want to pull down this, they will pull down before we could celebrate 100 years. So it doesn't depend on one individual. It is a force that wants to pull down the constitution, democracy, and the flag, and the ideals that our great freedom fighters, particularly Pule, Ambedkar, Periyar, Kumram Bhim, Birsa Munda, all these people. So let us keep their spirit living. Let us fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kancha. Sir, thank you for your visionary remarks. And sir, what you have expressed, your use today, will be useful, and it will be a guiding force for the all the intellectual class in this country. Sir, definitely your viewpoint will be considered and keep in mind to safeguard the country for the next coming 25 years in the large interest of the Mulnivasi Bahujans and all the people in this country. Thank you for coming to this MNT News Network, sir. We will invite one again and again for your viewpoints and to receive your scholarly messages, sir. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you
Jai
very
Hind, Jai
much.
Bhagwan.
Thank you.